Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Proclamation News and Governs with the prodigious, the pompous Professor Johnson at PNG. Thank you all for coming through. I mean, our government, England's probably one of the best supported countries. That's why you've got so many people trying to seek asylum over here. Everyone coming to our nation thinking that, it's a fascist country or xenophobia. It's mad, isn't it, how we come across fascists so easily in the UK. If you're mixed race or black skinned, I'm mixed race anyway, so I will say as I see it. Cause I sit on the fence for both sides. I don't say nothing. I don't open my mouth, and my opinion needs to be heard because it's easy to throw lace cards so easily. You're in the wrong circles of people. You drinking your cup of tea with idiots. I mean, this is who I drink my cup of tea with. I'm drinking my cup of tea on my own. Drinking my cup of tea on my own. Anyway, what I wanted to get is looking at a political spectrum. Looking at a political spectrum today. You want support with mental health. It's not just about race here or anything, people crying for some kind of support. I need that while I'm trying to do a show. Get lost. Sorry about that. So you're looking for some kind of support in the UK. You're an alienated father, or you've been done of, or you've been part and parcel of a domestic abuse claim, or you've been beaten, ABH, GBH. You're asking for help. You're crying out for help. You're crying out for a paycheck so you can go on a nice holiday with your family. You want a bit of something back. You want a bit of something back for your life of purgatory, the sufferings that you're suffering. Well, the only help you're going to get is what I'm going to give you now. Don't go looking, searching, crying the river, searching for help. I've been through every single nook and cranny that this world can give you. The only help you get. Doesn't matter about all the suicide deaths or alienated fathers. It doesn't matter that you had your head kicked in by 15 blokes and you suffer of anxiety. It doesn't matter. But then in court, you got mental health. You're not well. Well, hang on. How come I've got no support? Well, this is the only support you get. NHS number 999 emergency, or call 111 for urgent. Or call. I'm in Essex County region. Or call Essex Council 0345 743 0430. Or call the Samaritans if you feel suicidal, if you're going to kill yourself. They'll help you. You get some old grandma on the phone. Or don't jump, Mr. Johnson. It's better days tomorrow. Better days tomorrow. You think, oh, that makes me want to jump even more. You sound like an idiot. Call the Samaritans. 116123. Or the National Domestic Abuse Helpline. 0808 2000 247. Or call National Citizen Advice Helpline 0800 144 8848. I mean, I want to see my kids for their birthday. I want to see my children for Christmas because it's a traditional thing to do, spend it with your family and loved ones. Well, call the National Citizen Advice Helpline. This is advice you get, what I'm giving you. This is the only advice you get. They'll go seek mediation. Mediation would say, right, you got your CM100 form, we're going to apply it to court and you've got to do the rest. So there you go ahead, do that. Go to court. 4 times I've been to court. So not only are you suffering mental health for other things, I'm just saying, it could be anything you're suffering mental health for. You want support from all these local governments. You write to your local MP, don't much use of chocolate fire guard. He ain't going to help you. But they're qualified politicians for a reason. What reason you're a politician, mate? What reason are you a politician? What can you help me with, physically? Or even mentally? Not give me a number. Go, here's a number. Don't kill yourself. Come on. I know, International Bill of Rights, equality. It's not equal rights, though, is it? Because the woman has children at Christmas, birthdays. The father has jack all. The mother also has. They get child support, everything. Child support allowance. They get free holidays. some circumstances, but underlining. So, you know, don't matter if you're the older folk out of two, you've got to get, you know, you've got to get a bus while they get a car. So your family supporters and you ain't. You know, you want equal rights in this world. Where's equal rights down the line? That's what I'm saying. Now, I do support feminism. You see me time and time again. Take your hats off to the mothers that do the work for the children, take them to school, picking them up. You know, it's a methodical job. I mean, I'm an artist. Could a mother be an artist while she's looking after kids? I do know one, actually, a very good one, but I'm not going to, you know, it's different. Some people's minds are occupied differently when it comes to trying to perform and look after children. Because I'm quite a phenomenal speaker, as you know, the way I approach my show, everything I do, write my own songs, do my own artwork, do my own ironing. But I'm on my own. I can do it. My brain functions very well. But if I take kids to school, will it still function the same? I don't know until I try it. But why don't I get given that opportunity at least once a week, like every other father in this world should? Like equal rights, equal opportunities, national bill of rights, international bill of rights. What's happened to it? What's the point of having it? Can we go in Parliament and rip it up? Because it's not relevant, is it? It's not irrelevant. We speak about it, we don't do nothing about it. It's like the race cars. It's always spoken about. Is anything done about it? There you go. Anyway, guys, I'm going to play. I wanted to play a song for you quickly before we start the show. It's going to be about 40-minute show today. I really appreciate you guys come through. I hope I reach home with some of you guys at home, maybe suffering mental health. I mean, I hang about me and my friends most days, and my friends are my artwork. What you see in front of me is what you get. Some of my friends, there you go, my paintings. These are my friends. These are the only people I socialise with, and I go parent once a week. There you go, ladies and gents. So you are who you drink your cup of tea with. I drink a cup of tea with myself and my friends, and then my paintings. I've got absolutely untold paintings. Hoping to do. I'd like to go Parliament and take my paintings there, but it's get them there, doing a gallery there. That's what I'd like to do potentially. I've got a lot about me, but it's getting from A to B safely. Halo song, guys. Halo song. Listen to the words. These are south from across the nation. Going back to the park, Jesus is risen. Here we go. Let's hit it. Let's hit the show. Yeah, come on, Park. I know you got what it takes. Park, come on, Park. Hit the rock. Hit the clock. The time's clocking down. Stop clowning around, Park. Here we go. For the beat. Jesus Christ is risen. It's a positive resurrection. Jesus is risen. It's a propositive resurrection. Now he's here to stay, to give us a direction. At this damn moment, we're heading in the wrong direction. I don't know what we're gonna do. Exit with the Brexit or the EU. All I know, one of his disciples, Bojo, is in the firing line as one of Jesus' selection. At this damn time, at the damn moment in time, we're heading in the wrong direction. I don't know what we're going to do, exit with the Brexit or the EU. All I know, one of his disciples, Bojo, is in the firing line as one of his selection. This minute in time, the whole damn world is corroding on population growth. In the UK is overloading. This minute in time, the whole damn world is corroding on population growth. In the UK is overloading. We need this Brexit to form a unity, to protect our community. I spit these lyrics with diva, but I'm a firm believer. We're gonna be a real receiver. Send out meditations from cosmos to all different nations. We need this Brexit to form a unity, to protect our community. I spit these lyrics with diva, but I'm a firm believer. We're gonna be a real achiever. Send out meditations. You're all different nations. Every day we're praying so hard to battle these sporadic night crime from happening all over the globe. I sit sometimes and think to myself, where's it all gonna stop? Sometimes in life, certain things you all gotta drop. What happened to carry on to responsibilities for these dumb juvenile kids with their no possibilities? All I know is we're heading in the wrong direction. Like Jesus knows, he's gonna make us a selection. What's it gonna be? What happened to parents' responsibilities? These dumb juvenile kids, there's no possibilities. All I know is we're heading in the wrong direction. Jesus knows he's gonna make us a selection. I'm gonna sing hallelujah, amen. It's our time to shine. It's Friday night crime. We're gonna put a bop to it. We're gonna sing a stop to it. We gotta put a stop to it. There's no forbearance for the parents to the dumbass kids playing Grand Theft Auto, smoking weed or Assassin's Creed. They don't know playing silly games ain't gonna earn them no dough. Join the army, kid, and soon the world gonna blow. Our community, our country, our safety is paramount. Parliamentary sovereignty, the law is the law divide above all judiciary in the UK. Laws divide, laws multiply. We raise you, God praise you. Now all you can do is sit here, living on welfare. Our community, our country, is our safety, is paramount. Parliamentary sovereignty is law divide above all other judiciary in the UK. Laws survive, laws multiply. We raised you, God praised you. Now all you can do is sit here, living on welfare. Amen. One more song, right? So one more song. Here we go, fuck. It's a capital P. You know what it's gotta be. Here we go. The capital P in proclamation. Boris Johnson introducing you to inconspicuous. Here we go. You know I can sing it. You know I can wing it. H to the E to the R to the T. The FORD SHIRE. Harvard. That's where it's at. We're straight talking. We're talking my pedigree. We've never been no anti-Semitism. Totally against terrorism. We need to stop this cruelty to our community. At first I didn't know. I put a rhyme to this until I dialed 99 and put a crime to this. No, never been no anti-Semitism. Totally against terrorism. We need to stop this cruelty to our community. At first I didn't know. I put a rhyme to this until I dialed 999 and put a crime to this. Last year I would have stuck a fist to this. Now I stick a gist to this. I'm like Justin is boy martyr. It's legit. I just got smarter. After I didn't know, I could have put a rhyme to this until I dialed 999 and put a crime to this. Last year, I would have stuck a fist to this. Now I stick a gist to this. I'm like Justin is boy martyr. It's legit. I just got smart. I remember when I used to get bullied in first grade about my speech impediment. Now my rhymes right, my rhymes tight. These girls say I'm approachable. They say I look like from Mauritius, looking all kinds of delicious. My real name is Justin, and clearly why the girls ain't trusting. These girls say I'm approachable. They say I look like I'm from Mauritius, looking all kinds of delicious. My real name's Justin. I can clearly see why the girls ain't trusting. They become inconspicuous. I'm an apologetic apologist. There's no reason there's a reason I got no forbearance. I was born with no parents. I joined the Nigerian Christian Gospel Church like the white opposite version of Sister Mary Clarence. I joined the Nigerian Gospel Church like a white opposite version of Sister Mary Clarence. Now I'm there every Sunday making appearance. I'm also the convener facilitator, the gospel illustrator, food bank support worker, accumulator. The reason I got no forbearance, I was born with no parents. There you go. Sophistication in that song. A lot of sophistication in sophistication. A lot of time, integrity goes into a lot of my songs. Do I get paid for it? No, you get nothing. You enjoy it. Everything you do in life, you enjoy it. That's it. Money makes money. Simple. I ain't got no money. I'm what they call middle class, but broken ass. Middle class, but broken ass. Thank you anyway, ladies, for come through here. If you suffer from mental health, that is your own support you're gonna get. That's what I just told you. That is your own support you're gonna get. You're gonna stay, Mr. Average Joe Blogs, for the rest of your life. Doesn't matter how much intelligence you got. Doesn't matter how much legacy you've left. Doesn't matter how much equity you have. The only support you're gonna get is not financially, my friends. If you think you're suffering mental health, the only support you're gonna get is what I just give you. Is them numbers to call. Call the Samaritans. Call the NHS helpline. It's a place called Turn to Us. Rethink. All these that can help you, but not help you. Suicidal numbers that are going to stop you jumping. They're going to stop you jumping. If you're going to jump, you're going to jump. You're not going to think about, oh, I'll ring this number. Hang on a minute. And no one's going to come out and physically say, please don't jump. They talk to you over the phone. So just so you know. That's why we're losing so many people, because there's not enough support and there's not enough care in the world for people that do struggle. How do you know what's happening behind closed doors, of a man that lives on his own, or a woman that lives on her own, or a teenage man that lives on his own away from his parents? He's doing uni in Africa, or he's doing uni in Italy, or he's doing uni in France, or he's away from his family. How do you know that son or daughter is not suffering on their own when it comes to winter months, or having a weekend alone and split up their boyfriend or girlfriend? How do you know? You don't know. Anyway, moving on. We are sponsored by PSS Alarms. Very ethical and pragmatic works carried out. All areas covered, including central station, monitoring provided. All work according to insurance requirements. This is a friend of mine's company. He's carried out works in Harry Kane's stepmother's house in Hertfordshire, Potts Bar. He's carried out etiquette works in Essex, such as Casbah Restaurant and many more big businesses. So if you'd like to get your property CCTV, which is safety within paramount of your family, then please call Tarek Khan. His contact details are 07908 07908 216 142. I'll repeat, 07908 216 142. 216 142. Installation and maintenance of intruder alarms, fire alarms, CCTV, all works guaranteed and certified to SSAIB standards. 24 call-out service. Can provide CCTV for pubs, clubs, restaurants, or no business setup. Secure your business. Mention Professor Johnson for an extra discount. Make sure you mention my name to get that slight bit of discount. Also adds a little boost in my happiness. You know, I'm putting out the hard work daily, and mention my name is a great impact on my shoulders. Thank you very much. Secure your home, secure your business. Your safety and priorities in your business are paramount. So think safety, think first. Secure your equity. You want to secure your equity? Absolutely. Really appreciate everyone for supporting my daily routine. It's a methodical madness, methodical approach. I'm here. Oh, I see this over Twitter. Yeah, argument with Marks and Spencer's and Aldi. Aldi brings back Cuthbert the Caterpillar cake for charity. Cuthbert the cake. Mr. Cuthbert, he says. Aldi's controversial Cuthbert. Look on Twitter. This is so funny. On official Aldi website, it's so funny. Aldi's controversial Cuthbert the Caterpillar cake hit by legal action for Marks and Spencer's and returning to stores, with profits going to charity. Aldi has stopped selling the cake in February, 2 months before M&S accused the supermarket of infringing its Colin the Caterpillar trademark. But now sales of a limited edition version will benefit Teenage Cancer Trust and Macmillan Cancer Support. Let's raise money for charity, not lawyers, said Aldi. Last week, M&S lodged an intellectual property claim with the High Court. It said Cuthbert's similarity within its own Colin cake led consumers to believe they were of the same standard and rides on the coattails of M&S reputation. Retailer has 3 trademarks relating to Colin, which it believes means Colin has acquired and retains an enhanced distinctive character. Rival supermarkets, which all sell Caterpillar cakes of their own, remained tight-lipped in the face of the action by M&S, which said it had not rolled out, pursuing over other retailers as well. Cuthbert the cake, would you Adam and Eve in it? There's an argument over a freaking cake. I can't see my kids, and you want to argue about a poxy cake, you absolute arrogant piece of Tory. M&S said it wanted Aldi to agree not to sell anything similar in the future, but it clearly had not bargained on Aldi's latest cheeky charity-related move. Hey, Marks and Spencer's were taking a stand against Caterpillar cruelty. Can Colin and Cuthbert be besties? Said Aldi on social media. We're bringing back a limited edition Cuthbert Netflix cancer charities, including your partner's Macmillan Cancer Supporters and ours Teenage Cancer Trust. He said, using the Twitter hashtag Caterpillars for Cancer. Aldi said it was calling on supermarkets to join it in raising money for cancer charities through the scale of Caterpillar cakes. Colin the Caterpillar was launched by M&S about 30 years ago. His experience has been substantially unchanged since around 2004, except for adaptations for events such as Halloween and Christmas, and related products such as Connie and the Caterpillar. Colin is central to M&S partnership with cancer charity Macmillan, and the retailer has created a Colin product for the annual World's Biggest Coffee Morning fundraising event. Isn't it ironic? I mean, people are getting shot for their race, or shot because they're in the gang, or beaten up because they're going to school, and they're arguing over Cuthbert, the freaking Caterpillar. How stupid is this world coming to? This cake is a sponge with milk, chocolate and buttercream, topped with chocolate sweets and a smiling white chocolate face. M&S was the first retailer to sell a Caterpillar cake, but many supermarkets have since created their own cinema products. Other cakes include Waitrose, Cecil, Sainsbury's Wiggles, Tesco's Curly and Asda's Clyde the Caterpillar. Aldi is known to sell close to the window on creating products which look and or sound incredibly similar to other brands, said Gary, as an intellectual property specialist at law firm Shoesmiths. M&S may find their case against Aldi difficult, since there are other Caterpillar cakes on the market. They should take a zero tolerance approach from the start if they felt that Colin and Connie were so important to them. Mate, it's ridiculous. I really can't get my head around it. A cake, really? You want to argue over a freaking cake? Do people really argue? You've got 2 supermarkets selling 2 separate things. Colin and Cuthbert are 2 different things. 2 different things. They've got different colour buttons on them, so that's not a copy for starters. They've got different colour buttons on them. There you go. And they're called something else. So it's not copying, is it? Same thing, Caterpillar, but Colin and Cuthbert. Does it matter? Jeez. A cake. A freaking cake. COVID contracts, PPE fixture. Who was Tory donor named in admin error? The role of a former Tory parliamentary candidate and a party donor in a £100 million government deal to buy PPE has been revealed after an apparent admin error. The deal for face masks was signed in July, but the names of those involved were blacked out when the contract was finally published 7 months later. A second document listed Samir Jassel, an ex-councillor who has campaigned with Prime Minister as the supplier's contact. The government has said ministers have no part in deciding who gets what contracts, but it is the latest in a series of relationships about PPE deals awarded to those with government contracts. A good friend, he says. Although the deal for protective masks for hospital workers was signed last year, the details only came to light after March after the courts rebuked the government for failing to publish contacts within the legal time frame. Health Secretary Matt Hancock was found to have acted unlawfully for this failure. Even when the deal involving Mr. Jassel was finally published, the contact details for the supplier were blacked out. Full contracts and routinely debated when published by the governments. However, in what appears to have been a clerical error, a separate document published with the contract gives Mr. Jassel's name. He is listed as the supplier's contact, the Pharmaceutical Direct Limit, the company paid to supply the mask. He told the BBC he was a consultant for the firm. The contract was negotiated in the aftermath of the first coronavirus wave in the UK. At the time, with the rising of global demand for PPE, the government directly awarded contracts under the emergency term, which meant it didn't have to spend time following the usual tendering process. However, this has led to concerns over why particularly suppliers were chosen and accusation of flavouring firms with political connections to the Conservative Party. Who is Samir Jassel? Mr. Jassel, former Conservative councillor, appears well connected to the government. He joined the Prime Minister on an official trip to a recycling plant in West London last October and accompanied him on a campaign visit to Sikhi Temple during the 2019 general election campaign. Mr. Jassel himself stood as a Conservative candidate in 2 general elections, and he is standing as councillor, again in Gravesham Borough Council, next month's local election. His LinkedIn profile claims he worked as advisor to the now Home Secretary Priti Patel between 2004 and 2015. The BBC understand this was unpaid. He describes her as a good friend on social media. 2016, he donated $4,000 to the party. At the height of the UK pandemic in 2020, the government set up a high priority lane for businesses endorsed by Whitehall officials or politicians to fast-track PPE orders. Ministers have refused to reveal the full list of firms that went through this first time. In November, the spending watchdog found these companies were 10 times more likely to win contracts than suppliers that came through the normal route. Mr. Jassel's involvement in the 100 million face mask contract were uncovered by the Good Law Project, a campaign group which took the government to court over publishing PPE contracts. It is now seeking to bring a case against government in relation to this contract. It's of profound public importance that we discover who has benefited from the special arrangements put in place, who has benefited from the billions of public money spent, and whose direction Gemma Abbott, the group's legal director, told BBC. Department of Health and Social Care, DHSC, declined to answer whether Pharmaceutical Direct Limited contract was processed as part of the high priority lane. Mr. Jassel says PDL has 20 years experience in the healthcare sector and is asked the PPE via online government portal. The company, he said, had supplied PPE to various outlets for many years. Despite costing more than 100 million, at least 2 hospitals trusts have reported issues with the fit of the model of masks supplied under the contract. I want to give you a story about doctors after, even mine, talk about jobs, professions. Mr. Joshua said the masks successfully entered the NHS supply chain in a timely manner, and the technical standards were rigorously vetted and approved by the Health and Safety Executive, DHSC and NHS. PDL said it engaged its own independent expert consultants to test and certify that all masks were fully compliant, it said. To the best of its knowledge, all masks supplied have been distributed to and put to use by the NHS. A Department of Health spokesperson said the duty of any government national crisis is to protect the public and save lives. And to do that, when confronted with a global pandemic, we had rapidly procure PPE. This involving setting up new logistics network from scratch and expanding our PPE chain from 226 NHS trusts in England to more than 58,000 different stages, all of which was taking place at the time when global demand was greater than ever before. All PPE procurement went through the same assurance process due to diligence has been carried out on every contract, and ministers have no involvement in deciding who is awarded contracts. Talking about doctor's job. Let's talk about doctor's job. I'm about to give you like a bit of a rundown of some mental health support you get. I'm not going to knock doctors, but I am going to knock doctors. I've done human biology, luckily. I've done human biology. You need to know about your body before you go down to doctors, otherwise you never get the cureness of your illness. I still don't know the bottom line of my illness. I want to know where it's come from. I want to know why I'm ill. Why and also why the courts say I'm mentally not well, but not giving me the support I need. I'm mentally not well, but physically not physically. I'm an average guy. I'm an average guy. You know, I look after myself best I can, to the best of my ability at my age, 38 this year. But you go to doctors with a problem, say like, I was a doctor problem, I got Raynaud's, it's getting worse, you know. Secondary Raynaud's can, when you get older, it turns to gangrene, get in his feet and in your hands. Luckily, my toenails are starting to repair a bit better. I need some more of that stuff for it. But that could end up with gangrene and my toes falling off. Also, in my knuckle, I've got dead blood cells in my knuckles. And no, it's not from boxing before any stupid idiot said. The doctor always says it's due to smoking or it's due to boxing. So it's due to boxing. I got a head injury in 2002. It's my stupidity going back to boxing after I got my kicked in. But admittedly, why would I want to sit on eggshells for the rest of my life? Because the security where I went wasn't wasn't relevant at the time. Nor was the police, nor was the NHS, and nor was anyone else. Security guards doing their job. So why on earth do I want to sit indoors because everyone let me down? I wanted to get out, get back on my feet, find some courageous balls, and start again. I was told I've been allowed all the support I can get in the world when I got a kick in. I didn't get the compensation I deserved. I was out of work for a hell of a long time, and I still suffer. You still suffer mentally. You still suffer mentally. Trauma is at its worst. That trauma is almost like your daughter getting raped by a dirty old. That's what the trauma is like. 15 blokes kick your granny out. You look over your shoulder, you don't know who done it. You feel raped by 15 men. That's what I feel. That's how you feel when people think, yeah, you should be over it now. 37 years of age. I don't go out. I don't socialise. This is what I do. I talk to myself. I do artwork on my own. They're my only friends who've got artwork and talk to myself. No one calls in, hey, how you doing, son? Hey, no, I don't want to talk like in that mannerism, but talk about something constructive criticism that can help the show come along. Or help support the show. Help me build a better YouTube. I need to get that monetization because I can reach out to so many people suffering. And we need to hit reality and talk about everyone's stuff, not just my own, because a problem halved is a problem shared. A problem shared is a problem halved. So if anyone else is suffering inside and thinking you're having a bad day, I could be having my day could be worse than yours, vice versa. We can help each other through. So it's good to talk, but it's not all about mental health all the time. It's about a bit of journalism. You see a lot of in the media, in the politics, in the show business, even sport fanatics, athleticism. You see them suffering mental health. You see it happen to Britney Spears. You see it happen to Billy Joe Saunders. He's a world champion middleweight. Mike Tyson, Tyson Fury. You see him happen, Mike Tyson and all, but he seems to be coming back in his grand age of 96, old Mike Tyson. But yeah, everyone could go for any given moment in their life, suffer of mental health. Everyone's got mental health. Everyone can have a mad rage at any given moment. And, your missus upset you cooked burnt her dinner. Your missus upset because you shrunk her clothes. Vice versa. Your boyfriend's upset because you shrunk his clothes. That's usually the way, because not all the men like doing their washing. I know that because I've been in a relationship. If I had someone do it for me, I'll quite frankly go, yes, please. Give myself a break. Give myself a pat and a back and a nice break. Prince Andrew's funeral has been discussed by a body language expert. Dr. Louise Mayer joined Australia's morning show to dissect royal family members. Prince Philip's ceremony. She pointed to the Duke of York specifically for showing the signs of a lifetime of indulgence. Do you know what? You know how formative my YouTube and Castbox, my live TV is. And then you see some other people that are doing the same thing. They've got absolute millions of subscribers. It's frustrating, isn't it? I've been working ever so hard. I mean, I started off at P&G when I started this year. I've had the paternalistic national news, and then I've subscribing and sharing. Because it's no different from watching the terrible news at home, but better, because I've had a life. I've had a life, not fed from a mouth for a silver spoon. Dr. Mayer told viewers, most notable of Andrew was, as they were walking along, he was swaying on the signs of a lifetime of indulgence. His stomach is swollen underneath his ribs. Why do you think I deserve this? Chose to do boxing after. I wasn't given a lifeline. I needed my life taken away, and it wasn't my fault. Do I deserve a good shot in the dark at media? Yes, I do. Does my opinion, my voice need to be heard? Yes, it does. Is YouTube channelers not supporting my following? Even Castbox. I mean, you have bots on you have bots listening in on YouTube and Castbox. They should make me a content creator, helping me push the market. Because I know the top presenters, they've got their big business backup plan to pay for their subscribers. You see it on their, what's it called as well, TikTok. To go live on TikTok, you have to have 1,000 followers. And to get 1,000 followers, you have to pay for subscribers. By some little kid to me said, I'll follow me on TikTok. Even she's 20, 22, pretty girl, follow me on TikTok. I went, no. What do I follow you for? Why do I want to follow you for on TikTok? So you point to that, look like an idiot and hardly nothing on. Nothing would entice me to follow someone on TikTok unless they're a friend. She's continued, it's lifts his chest up, so we had a lot of white of his shirt showing. His arms are out to the side, and he's swaying from side to side. Nobody else spoke to him. He just stood behind his daughter. I thought he was a sad character. I do tell you what does make attract me. I will subscribe. I've seen a couple on TikTok having such a laugh. Talking about Prince. Let's talk about it. Don't know anyway. The Duke of York has caused a stir before the funeral after it emerged that he had been born. Although he did have a Navy career, Andrew did not reach the rank of an admiral by the end of it. Additionally, the royal has stepped down from the public life in November 2019 following the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. I'll talk about that as well. I'm not a great fan of Prince Andrew. I don't. Is the law? The law? It says it black and white. The law is the law. So the law protects it. So why is it in the media? Why is the media putting Prince Andrew down? Is it necessary? In the end, the palace announced to the military uniforms will be born lost. He shared that the Queen was feeling it, I think, probably more than everyone else, calling her incredibly stoked. The Duke told Sky News she described it as having left a huge void in her life, but we, the family, the ones that are closer, are running round to make sure that we have to support her. And I now know there's a huge amount of support, not just for her, but for everybody as we go through this enormous change. Right, I just want to talk about the law. The law is made for it to be okay to have consensual sex with an 18-year-old, which in my head is wrong for me to even, think that, or any adult. Although Prince Andrew did do that, but it's in the law. It says it's fine. So why is it then thrown in the paper? To me, you know, to me, I'm just trying to see it. I can't see it for me. Sister to me, or you know what I mean, or vice versa, like a baby brother to you if you're a woman. What I don't see, you know, the thing logic in it, but the law needs to end, doesn't it? So what's the difference? It's horses for courses, but why is it in the media? Is it necessary to be in the media? Right in Prince Andrew? Is it necessary for people, stand-up comedians as well? I've seen it. Paul Trowdy. It's funny for it. Paul Trowdy is phenomenal comedian. Don't get me wrong. It's all in the media. It's all in the press. Is it, you know, is it important to have that discussion all over the media? Don't know. I mean, Prince Andrew's stuttering on TV. It feels a bit uncomfortable. Does he deserve to feel uncomfortable? Does he deserve that? I don't know. Law is a law to itself when it wants to be. European Super League ministers warns Big Six clubs that plan is biggest own goal in football history. A cabinet minister today warned some of Europe's top clubs to step back from what threatens to be the biggest own goal in football history. Scupper, the proposed new European Super League, tin the standard, we put everything on the table to stop this happening. I would urge these breakaway clubs to step back from what appears to be the biggest own goal in football history. Former England football captain David Beckham also hit out saying the game we love is in danger. The so-called Big Six of the English Premier League, Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham, Liverpool, Manchester, Man City, faced furious backlash after proposals for a breakaway tournament. Boris Johnson held a virtual meeting today with football's governing authorities and fans. There you go. Give me a bit. It's not just all about political spectrum today, is it? Old David Becks is back. We've got the old Beckhams on the old journal today. Front bench politics. Brexit. Boris Johnson promised to end Great Britain and Northern Ireland trade. Prime Minister Boris Johnson has pledged to end the ludicrous barriers between the internal trade between Great Britain and Northern Ireland. He said he would take whatever steps necessary to end barriers created by the EU agreement. But Theresia's Irish Prime Minister, Michael Martin, insisted the Brexit protocol was a danger to Northern Ireland's constitutional position within the UK. They spoke to BBC Northern Ireland Spotlight for a film on Northern Ireland's centenary. A contested centenary will be broadcast on Tuesday evening and includes contributions from the First Minister Arlene Foster and Deputy First Minister Michelle O'Neill. Checks where to be light touch. In the programme, Mr Johnson said his government was trying to sandpaper the Northern Ireland Protocol into shape. He warned the government would take further steps, and the EU insisted being dogmatic over matters like the supply of British rosebush and soil and sausages to Northern Ireland. Soil and sausages to Northern Ireland. Nothing to the EU withdrawal agreement specifically mentions Northern Ireland's integral place in the UK's internal market. The Prime Minister said the way the deal had been interpreted did not confirm what with that provision. He insisted the checks on good moving across the Irish Sea had always been intended to be light touch measures, and he described UK economic market integrity as paramount. The unionists have demanded the protocol must be scrapped altogether and taken legal challenge, arguing the deal's breaches the UK's Act of Union. Mr Johnson said that if he concluded the Irish sea trade checks are not working in the interest of the UK, he would invoke Article 16, which allows either London or Brussels temporarily to suspend their protocol. However, Mr Martin said it was very overly dramatic for anyone to claim the protocol, which had led to checks on goods moving across the Irish Sea between Great Britain and Northern Ireland, was tearing the UK apart. Itasesh said he believed the early signs were that unionists were going to work with the protocol in a pragmatic way. Mr Martin said he was concerned that the heat generated about the protocol by its political critics had drowned out the voices of Northern Ireland's businesses, farmers and educational institutions who could see potential advantage in the new trade agreements. Peaceful and democratic, Mr Martin was questioned about angry response to the protocol by loyalist parliamentaries who formally withdrew their support from the Good Friday Agreement. Loyalist Communities Council, which represents a parliamentary group, said it's determining the union's position through the protocol should be peaceful and democratic. There have been reports and threats at loyalist sources against senior Irish government ministers. In response to the Taoiseach said its opposition and to the protocol must be peaceful and democratic. He called on all political leaders, irrespective of their views, ensure claim deliberation of these issues and not raise tensions unnecessarily. As part of the programme, sent to BBC News, Northern Ireland's former political editor Mark Davenport spotlight commissioned an opinion poll on both sides border to find out whether people want the Brexit protocol scrapped, whether they are concerned about the potential resurgence of violence, and how much longer they believe Northern Ireland will remain part of the UK. After the launch of the poll results on Tuesday night's programme, viewers, listeners and readers can expect the final findings across the range of BBC Northern Ireland's digital and broadcast services over the next few days. Thank you all, ladies and gents, for listening. That is almost 2 hours. Well, not on YouTube, but on my Up Live thing. Thank you. God bless. Have a wonderful day on YouTube. Really appreciate you so much coming through. I'm shouting and falling asleep. Have a great day. God bless. Take care. One love.